Welcome, everyone, to Northwest Digital News. I'm Kevin Hunter with Chris Bornstead and Kyle Torgeson. We are in the what was the proper word that I was looking there for? We are in the amazing studio of Northwest Digital News. And, you know, this is actually a show and a broadcast where we like to do it's called two words, due diligence on stories that we do here.
Ouch.
We'll have some more conversation in the coming weeks here on this issue of due diligence. But if we were to follow the example of our political leaders, you guys, we should just publish and put everything out there, and who gives a crap whether it's right or wrong, right? That's probably what we should do. Chris doesn't want to say anything because he's boiling.
I have nothing to say.
Yeah, so...
I do have one thing to say, though.
I'm confused. I'm sharing the live stream. What are we talking about?
All right, Kyle, kick us off with the weather, and then we'll get into our show subject.
That is one thing that I do have to say. Today's going to be a high of 51 and a low of 38. It will be showering today. Is that the term, showering? Showering.
Yeah.
It's going to be in the 40s, mid-40s all week. The sun is going to be peeking out Thursday, coming back with the rain Friday. Then the sun. The sun is just going to be peeking out the clouds the rest of the week.
The sun will be out starting on Saturday for a whole freaking week. Well, out to Thursday anyway.
We will never know when it'll come back, so enjoy it while you can.
So, you know, if you're in our local area and you don't like these showers that are coming down on your head on Friday evening.
It's actually on your head.
7 o'clock, yeah. Friday evening, there is the LCC Christmas concert. Go, show up, enjoy the concert.
Also, enjoy the sun while you can, because the West Coast and the East Coast is going to be berated. West Coast is going to be berated with rain, while East Coast is going to be berated with snow.
Braided?
Berated.
Oh, berated.
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 Okay.
Berated.
Yeah.
The word of the day is berated.
Nice. Very perspicacious of you, Kyle.
Thank you.
Did you?
Very
I
astute.
gotta say this, you guys. I need you guys to help me get a new job, and I want to be the guy who runs the PUD.
You want to be the guy who runs the PUD?
Yeah, you know why? I mean, the guy makes a ton of money, and he just got like a $32,000 raise.
So you want to be a PUD manager?
Yeah. How do you get a $32,000 raise? Can you? I manage PUD well. But how do you get a $32,000 raise? How does that happen?
You know, the first thing you need to do, though, if you get that job, is you need to take PUD off the doors of the trucks. I see those stupid trucks going around, I'm going, you know, I would probably just spell it out or something, but I would take that off the side of the truck.
Put periods between the words.
Yeah, people use that as slang way too often to describe something that has nothing to do with your electrical grid.
That's
Anyway.
too funny.
Yeah.
Today's just going to be a wild show. I already know it.
All right, guys, you know what? Let's have conversation about the 10 best careers for trade school grads. And you know why we're going to talk about this today, you guys?
Because it's the 10 best careers for grade school grads?
Because it's the 10 best careers for trade school grads. You know, the thing is that
and manufacturing's up, right, Kevin?
And manufacturing is up and continuing to come up. And you know, we had a little conversation about this yesterday on Tech Tuesday. Do you know what the outcome was of Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, the whole weekend? Do you know where this year compared to last year? Do you know what the increase was, you guys? The total?
Like 23.8.
23.8% increase. Yes. Set records.
Oh, he must have said that.
Records.
I was on the show yesterday.
That's
Yeah,
right.
he was on the show yesterday. Yeah. We set records across the board on the days of Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And Harry Brelsford, who was on with us yesterday from SMB Nation, said, you know what, when the economy is ticking and going like it is, well, people get out there and spend money. And it's because consumers...
Where does Harry live?
He's in the Seattle area. And
So you got somebody in Seattle say the economy is doing well?
Yeah.
Wow, that's like...
He's also a
get the calendar
pretty
out
big
and mark
business
that down.
owner, so...
Somebody get out and mark that on the calendar, yeah. Yeah, no, that's just the truth. So the economy is doing well, and subsequently people are out there spending money.
So, Kevin, we aren't going to talk about this today, but we do want to let you guys know that we are going to talk about it in the future. There was a meeting last night, right?
And we're going to talk about it next Wednesday. Yeah.
We're going to wait a week to talk about this. But I wanted to let everybody know that we were in attendance last night. We live streamed this. It's out there on my personal Facebook page and shared to some of the most social media sites out there. So if you guys want to watch that and take a look at it, you can. But we'll talk about it next week. We're going to wait for a little bit of fallout to happen, and we'll let you guys know.
I'm not going to say more about this than just this. Last night, I had a little conversation at the podium with Commissioner Joe Gardner, and I helped him understand that from the seat of an excavator, which is, he ran an excavation business before being a county commissioner, that sitting on the seat of an excavator, he understood what was the right thing to do last night. But 4 years into office and becoming a politician and drinking all that political Kool-Aid and having lunch with all the wrong people between, over the last 5 or 6 months, Joe Gardner did not represent the citizens of Cowlitz County last night. He didn't do the proper due
I never
diligence.
expected Joe to vote yes last night. I mean, he was given cover so that he didn't have to make a decision in this, and to help him through his election. So I never expected him to go away from what his donors wanted him to do.
But I'm just saying that's politics. And
Right,
the
yeah,
guy who was sitting
sure,
on the seat of a backhoe 4 years ago knew exactly what to do last night.
Right, yeah.
And that's what I was just helping him understand, that he did know what to do 4 years ago, doesn't know what to do now.
Yeah, no, I was my hopes were on Commissioner Weber and his donors. Just they were too powerful. So they're promising house runs and other things in support in that manner. But we'll talk more about this next week.
Next Wednesday, we'll cover it.
I'm related to the Gardners, not Joe Gardner, thankfully. I'm just
Well, Joe's a nice guy. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, he is.
And for
Very
the
nice
most
guy.
part, it's what I'm disappointed the most is watching, for the most part, honest people make dishonest decisions and present things dishonestly to the citizens, and that's exactly what's happened throughout this whole process. And it's just disappointing when you see that happen. So
Even-
Joe's not a bad guy. I mean, he's a nice guy. He's well known in our area, especially in the Tool area. Just people can be wrong. It happens all the time,
People can be wrong, yeah. And you guys, it's not Joe, the relatable citizen and country bumpkin who's just trying to do the right thing anymore. You have to understand, we now have Joe Gardner, the politician. That's what it is.
Yeah, and again,
So let's
focus was on Commissioner Weber. I never expected Joe, like I said, the commissioners gave Joe cover on this issue going into the election. They told him that he didn't have to worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't take a stance. So he did. I mean, his stance was, I'm not going to do anything. So I knew that was going to be his stance. My hopes were for Commissioner Weber, and like you said, we'll talk more about that next Wednesday.
All right, let's move on to talk about best paying jobs for graduates from trade school. You guys, that the job market is going through the roof in this area, and I really recommend that people get out there and participate in this and pick up these skills, because there's some darn good paying jobs for people who go to trade school. A lot of times these are a one-year program. Many of them will involve as little as an hour of day. They're affordable for pretty much anybody to go and do. So let's look at what some of these occupations are.
Wait, so I'm reading that the elevator installer and repairer salary is $77,000 a year?
I can help you with this, Kyle. Okay, so give me an example of why this guy makes so much money.
I guess
is
his
when the government does things, they spend more money than what they need to. Like, we've had to repair the elevator in the county administration building several times.
You know why, Kyle? You know why, Chris? You know why? I got, this is a great place for a little intervention.
Okay.
You know why? Because the elevator doesn't stop at all the floors.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
yes,
that's
yes.
exactly
Good,
right.
Good. But
Yes.
anyway, so Kyle, to repair the elevator, the cost on that, if you go over the last, I mean, we just had to work on the elevator like a month or two ago, and the cost was just, I mean, we're talking a couple $100,000. So
Wow.
$77,000, $77,580 a year, compared to what the repair rates are. That I believe that.
I just want to. I'm just thinking that maybe the job has its ups and downs.
It does have its ups
It does
and downs.
have ups and downs, yes.
And if you're in Wonka land, it can go sideways and diagonally as
And
well.
there's stages of completion as you go through the program. You can go, into stage 1, 2, 3, and, for some...
We keep, instead of like doing something different, and maybe buying a new elevator. Or I don't know what you do in a situation like that. Maybe we shouldn't keep spending a couple $100,000 every time we need to repair it.
Or better yet, just buy duct tape like everyone else.
Or
Buy duct tape.
just go back to the old-fashioned lever and pulley system where you have a guy on the top floor. And actually, we can eliminate the guy on the top floor, and we just, have a guy on up and poles and up and down. We used to pay a guy to, hit the lever to take us up and down. But, but no, honestly, that's probably right on par with what they make.
Well, if you're looking for a raise, get an elevator job.
Or become a PUD commissioner.
And you might even get an increase in income. You'll definitely get a raise, though.
You guys.
No, that's...
So, okay. I can't.
You will not move up the corporate ladder, but you'll definitely get a raise.
I can't believe that a web developer only makes $60,000. I'm going to round up here, folks.
Yeah.
Only makes $60,000 a year. You would think that they would make a little bit more than the repair elevator guy, but
Here's why, you guys. Here's why. A web developer and a website is really, in these days, nothing more than a home address.
So you're saying it catches people?
No, I'm just saying that the purpose of a website is really as far as...
Thank you.
Yeah,
okay.
good joke. They get entangled in the web. No, the website is really not much more than a placeholder on the internet, and it's not really what it used to be back in the beginning. Like once you got out of the Yellow Pages days and everybody having their listings and people looking these things up on paper, they'd start to go to the internet, and then you saw decks online of directories of people, and there were websites very commonly. Well, you can search companies right now, and you'll find all the other forms of social media around that organization, and the website might be there, but it's well down the page. Go to a browser and search Northwest Digital News. Okay. What's up there first? There are the Facebook pages, the YouTube channels, the Twitch, the Patreon, everything else, and the actual website is down the page. That is absolutely going to be true. Look at there's two Facebook pages on top, YouTube right below there. Patreon is number 4. There at number 5 is the contact us, northwestdigitalnews.com.
Nice.
That is true. So the reason why web developers don't make the kind of money that they may have 10 years ago or 15 years ago is the unfortunate truth, or if you want to think about it as unfortunate, but for people who are in the web development business, you got to recognize that the website is not going to be your key source of lead generation online. I hope you guys took note of that, you business people out there who are going, hey, I need to update my website. Yeah, why don't you go update your P.O. box? The time is just as well spent.
Let's see, I have a quote.
You have a quote you want to share?
Yeah, I have a quote. Let's see.
Is it competitive?
Let's see, there we go. The growth of the internet will slowly, let's see, actually, let me go full screen real quick. So
Go full screen with this guy, yeah.
The growth of the internet will slow drastically as the flaw in
Metcalfe's law.
Which states that the number of potential connections in a network is proportional to the square of the number of participants becomes apparent. Most people have nothing to say to each other. By 2005 or so, it will become clear that the internet's impact on the economy has been no greater than the fax machines.
Paul Krugman.
Literally.
Dude, you are a genius. And I think that's Kool-Aid you're drinking in that glass.
I think he's majored in economy. Like he's a pretty big economy guy.
And he said this?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right, Paul. This internet thing.
This guy and that Cortez lady that just got elected proves that you can send somebody to college, but you can't make them think.
And you can't make them say anything intelligent. You can't force them to. All right, so there's the fact is that the web developer is a lower salary, but something still worth considering, and you can get that degree in trade school. Going back to this elevator just for a second, because I want to make sure people are aware of this, $77,000 for elevator installer repair right now. Web developer at $57,000. There's some other things that are in here that are steadily going up. So let's take a look at number 4 in here. In fact, Go
I
down
want to
into
talk
the.
about number 4. That's the plumber, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. Number 3. I want to visit about this, but go down into the article just a little bit because I want to make sure that we're talking about the dental hygienist. It's going to be number 5 down on the list.
Actually, yeah, I'll get to it. But as I'm scrolling down to it, my cousin did 2 years or like maybe a year to.
Oh, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Whoa. Whoa.
Back up. Geological and petroleum technician. Now, hold on. I thought petroleum was a dying product, Kevin. How's there a future in petroleum?
Nope, and that's a $61,000 salary. And it's a degree that you can get in trade school. Go after it, you guys, because
Wow.
you're gonna need it.
So they are planning for the future in fossil fuels.
Okay,
then.
so projected annual growth in these positions is 12%.
Wow.
So yeah, no, it's not going backwards, it's going up.
Bam. Okay.
All right, let's talk about the dental hygienist. The job includes cleaning teeth. Whoa. Who knew?
Crazy.
Removing plaque. So these would be like your awards you get and stuff like that. So that job, you go into people's houses and take these plaques off the wall.
With like a toothbrush, aerosol
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, no. Sorry, guys. No, it didn't have anything to do with your awards at home. The plaque on your teeth, taking x-rays, checking for oral disease, and educating patients on oral hygiene. Here's the thing. Here's a reason why to consider being a dental hygienist. What if you actually wanted to become a dentist? It's a really good stepping stone for even something bigger beyond this if you wanted. But median annual salary, $54,000. Projected growth over the next 6 years, 19% projected growth. Yeah.
You think they'd
There's
be able
more
to-
people with teeth.
You think they'd be able
Wow.
to just learn how to regrow teeth by now? You think we'd have that tech?
There are people who have had every tooth pulled out of their mouth,
Well, yeah.
and then their dental hygiene is nothing more than dropping them in a glass at night and put them in the bubbly.
the
The bubbly.
Some people are putting their teeth in the bubbly, but they aren't removable, so they're just guzzling it down every day, and that form of bubbly tends to remove the teeth from the mouth over time.
Oh.
I happen to know somebody who is in their early 30s and completely false teeth from having grown up on a Mountain Dew diet.
Wow. We had a kid in Kelso High School that did a Mountain Dew diet, and then he died of diabetes.
Really?
In Kelso High School. Yeah.
So his teeth didn't fall out first, though?
No, he fell
He fell out first.
and passed away. This happened like 10 years ago.
Yeah. No,
2 liter of Mountain Dew every single day. It was crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the gentleman I was referring to, I think he put away a 12-pack. I don't know if every day, but, close.
I don't know how people can afford to buy it still. Have you guys seen the price of soda nowadays?
I don't know how somebody can stomach to drink it.
Well,
I feel ill, like if I
I mean-
even had a half a can.
orange purple soda is
Yeah.
pretty good stuff. I mean,
All right, guys, let's look down the list here. That was the dental hygienist. Projected growth, 19%.
I would like to argue about the plumber guy. That's a pretty crappy job, and I think he deserves more money. $50,000 a year is just.
But those careers are not going down the tubes.
No, they aren't going down the toilet.
No. Yeah, they're not going down the drain.
toilet.
They are actually.
No, but you think about it. I mean, this is one of those things where you think they could charge way more money and make a lot more money because everybody poops.
You are definitely not flushing
And-
your life
right.
away becoming a plumber. That's for
Right.
sure.
And so, you think that there would be a little bit higher salary there for that guy. I mean, because they'll come out in the middle of the night if they have to, right?
But here's the
And-
thing.
and-
Here's how you make the higher salary. This is actually a salary for somebody who's working for somebody else. Become a plumber, spend a little bit of time working for somebody else and learning the trade, and then there's this thing called entrepreneur. You can become your own boss and do your own plumbing. So you're going to sell your own
Oh no,
jobs.
Kevin, the taxes are way too high for that.
All right, so you guys, between now and 2024, 24% projected growth here. Oh, wait, sorry, you got the wrong thing up on the thing. Go down to number 9.
Sorry.
You're on the wrong thing,
They
Kyle.
showed in the picture. They showed him out a link on the pictures.
Yeah,
that I was looking at. So
12%. We'll get back up to the electrician, but a 12% projected growth here for the plumbers. So as we said, this career is definitely not going down the drain. And
Now, Kevin, I know you work on houses and stuff. Are you familiar with a product that it's like an CO2 cartridge that you put in your toilet and you just press it and it shoots a high pressure amount?
yeah,
And then it just breaks all your pipes because that's just how that works. If you they're selling these and it unclogs toilets instead of using like a plunger. Instead, it shoots a high percentage of like CO2 and it just busts.
forceful charge down the pipe.
It just breaks. In the demonstration that they have for the video, if you actually watch one of the pipes that they're using, when he walks away, you can actually start seeing it leak.
Mm-hmm.
So stay away from that. Just use a plunger.
Or a plumber.
That too.
Yes, use a plunger or a plumber.
Did I see correctly that the electrician makes the same amount as the plumber?
But hold on one second. I want to go down to something that's kind of significant. This right here is a demonstration sometimes that women are a little smarter than men, because this is a 1% female field and a 99% male, meaning women do not like to put their hand down the toilet. They pretty much stay out of the toilet. And I can tell you the experience around my household is if the toilet gets plugged for some reason or somebody throws something down there, my wife's like, "Come on!"
Yeah.
Yeah. That's gross. Oh, so I should do it since it's gross.
That's just sexist.
Yeah.
Making the
We've been
men
having
do
so
it.
much fun with our Google thing now that you brought up sexist. We were staying up late last night and we were talking to our Google Home thing, and we were going for hours.
Here's the more likely reason, though. If you want to be a plumber, you're going to have attention to detail and, even more importantly, a certain amount of physical strength. This is a very physically demanding job.
And you got to get
That
your
just
hands
sounds
into places
sexist.
that getting to my, like working on my car and stuff like that. It's just non-existent because everything's so small. So as far as plumbing, I ran into the issues where I can't get my hands sometimes in some of those places to make those turns.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's several times where I would have loved to have called one of these guys, but just couldn't afford it.
You got to talk to the Japanese designer and have them come over here and just, like get right in there. Anyhow, so yes, the plumber does require a little bit of physical strength, and as anyone who's ever wrestled with a toilet or a tub or a shower enclosure, well, you got kind of the picture of, it is a pretty physically demanding job. I think we'd find, if we looked at the concrete trades as well, that that's pretty much a male-dominated thing for the same exact reason.
It's tough work, dude.
I don't know too many of those guys that after doing it for a few number of years that walk around standing straight up.
I sold building supplies for 7 years to concrete workers and structural steel workers, and the concrete, man, you just beat your body up.
I think concrete work's so easy. All you gotta do is stand there with a shovel and make someone else do it.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
You can totally tell Kyle's done a lot of concrete work.
No, you can tell Kyle's been watching City Workers, but
Don't worry.
Yeah, what's happening on the highway department, Kyle, is no indication of what actually happens.
Actually,
on
a lot of those
concrete
people are
bridge.
actually losing their jobs because now they're making kickstands for shovels.
Yeah, there you go. No, their knees are their knees and their lower back go out for some because they're always on their knees a lot because they have to screed the concrete and
if you ever see a guy walking around like
in,
this,
yeah.
and kind of in that, when they show the evolution of the ape to man, and you go back like a couple of notches, and here's this hunched over person like this. Well, there's one of two careers that person has. You can go, oh, carpet layer. Nope. Oh, concrete guy. So. Yeah. They're either laying carpet or they're doing concrete. So one of those two things.
Yeah, and those guys work just unbelievable hours. The concrete workers, you guys, are hard workers. You
no
doubt
about it. No doubt about it. Okay, so it's fair to say that if the plumbing trade is experiencing 12% growth, let's go to the electrician, which is just above this, is number 8 on the list.
I can't believe it. Did I see $50,000 is about the same for them?
$50K, yeah. And that, again, is an electrician working for a contractor.
My friend's dad, when we were younger, my friend's dad was an electrician. And I'd go over and I'd stay the night at their house, on the weekends and stuff like that. And, every Friday was special at their house. And his dad quit his job more times than anybody had ever known. And he looked at me and he goes, it's because I got into a profession that's in high demand. I can go anywhere I want to work. And he did. You know, he'd come home and was like, I quit the job today. And 2 days later, he'd have another one that paid more money. So that's a good trade. I mean, there's a lot of, again, you would think that they would make a little bit more money.
But here's the thing, you guys. These are all trades that if you even have an ounce of entrepreneurial spirit, these are all trades that you can get into, learn from the pros, learn from your boss in terms of running the business, actually volunteer to go out on some of the leads, like some of the projects that they're proposing and whatever, because a lot of that stuff, it can be done during the day when you're working, but a lot of it is done in the evenings too, because that's when customers are home who are calling and asking to have an electrical contractor go. Volunteer to go out with your boss or the person who's quoting those jobs so that you can go look at them too. Go out and gain that experience. If you never go out on your own, that's still going to be valuable to you as an electrician or as a plumber or as that provider. Still going to be a value to you. So volunteer to go do that. You become a much more rounded person, and you'll become much smarter as a business person. Because here's the thing. This is a $50,000 salary for the electrician in the trade who's working for somebody else. The reason why a lot of people don't make it as an entrepreneur in this field is because of the quoting, the figuring out salary, the work comp, the liability insurance, all these different things that you have to have, unemployment insurance, et cetera, that come into play when you open your business. Well, you can learn that kind of stuff and be a little bit savvy about it, save ahead for some of those expenses you'll have at day one. You can be pretty skilled at doing this. And I can tell you from personal experience, it's not impossible to sell these kinds of jobs, because it wasn't that many years ago that I opened up a brand new business and sold 14 new housing starts. I'm talking about a complete ground up from dirt to the shingle on the roof. Sold 14 new housing starts in 6 weeks after the showroom opened up. So you can do it if you got the right process put together. So that's the electrician. Let's jump past the plumber and go a little further down on the list here and see what else we got here, Kyle. HVAC technician, number 10. What is HVAC, Chris?
That would be like heat pumps, ducting.
It's on the screen.
You asked me, so I'm not.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not even.
Yeah, okay. So
sorry, I'm researching Waste Connection stock. So they're currently at $76, and so I'm gonna wait till they're a little lower and start buying. But anyway, so HVAC is heating, venting, air conditioning technicians work on heating, cooling, and ventilation units, installing, and maintaining equipment. This is something I currently have going on in my house right now. We're having a heat pump installed. I thought they were going to finish today, but it will be tomorrow. And it looks like they make. Where's the money?
$42,000 a year for an employee of a contractor. I just want to make that.
Yeah. That doesn't seem like very much either. What's my deal with thinking the salaries are too low on this? I wonder why.
1% female, 99% male. Again, that trade is, but they show a female in the thing. And you know what's interesting is there were a few times over the years that I tried females on crews that we had. And at least one of those situations worked out really, really well. I actually know a gal over on the Oregon side who's a terrific carpenter and builder. But we unfortunately had more of those that didn't work out. But I'd love to see more females get into this trade, HVAC and plumbing and electrical and all that kind of good stuff. But they are physically demanding. I mean, you got to be. If it doesn't matter if you're a male or a female. I was actually having a conversation with a gentleman who's going to be joining us here soon on the broadcast, Darren Fredrickson, the master surveillant, and from Iron101.fit. A little plug for you there, Darren. Is going to be joining us here on the show, and I was sharing with that one of the reasons that people seek fitness and looking for reasons to get fit is that it helps them out much in their work. That's one of the reasons. So make sure that you're doing a little bit of workout, exercise, getting yourself stronger, because it is a lot more pleasant to do these tasks when you can do them easily. Whether you're a HVAC or a plumbing, heating, cooling person. All right, you got somebody you want to share? A
Yeah.
local contractor?
Actually a local contractor. So I have a friend. His name is Horatio. He's he was in band with me. He plays a mean trombone, like jazz. Man, he plays really well. But he was also super smart, like AP, and wanted me smart, like business-wise as well. And now he has his own construction business.
So he's kind of a stud. Uh-oh, what's playing?
Oh, that's me. It's all right. Meet site.
That's Kyle.
That's the crowd outside.
Yeah, it's
That's
our,
not me. What is
It's our fan base. It's the green room.
what is that? Stop that.
something you
Just close the window.
something you got
Just close the Facebook window.
just kicked off.
Okay. I'll figure what this is, but the audience can't hear it. Sorry about that. New software. Let's see, where is this coming from? I'll just mute every single site.
It started when you opened up that window.
No,
There you go.
There you
it's
go.
actually a different window entirely. The one that I opened up like 30 minutes ago.
Wow.
That was weird.
Yeah,
Anyways, wow.
That's why you got to be careful what sites you're on, you guys, even when you're sitting at work and going through all this stuff, because, you know,
Did you guys
something
see-
might pop up that you were not intending to have part of your...
Wow. Okay. Well, anyways, my friend Horatio, he's the same age as me, 19.
Hold on a second. Let's go to Horatio in a moment, but let's mention this article
Yeah,
that's on the
since-
back
while
screen
you have
here.
it up.
Romaine lettuce is safe if it's not from Central California.
Romaine lettuce is fine. Just stick with the
And since
popular
we're on
lettuce.
The subject, you guys.
Oh yeah.
I am very angry about this because if you go to the store, the call was for romaine lettuce, not iceberg. Okay, so I go to the store yesterday. I go to the same store to get my lettuce from, and they're completely out of romaine lettuce. Of course, right? Yeah, I expect that. But their iceberg lettuce and their lettuce in the bags, the prices were jacked. Usually you can get 3 heads of lettuce for $3. Yesterday, when we went to get some lettuce, we didn't even buy it because it was almost $9 for 3 heads of lettuce.
Whoa!
So they are gouging us on iceberg lettuce. for
That
what's
is
going
not
on
part
with
of the
romaine
shortage.
lettuce.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Bad.
So the lettuce is fine. Just stick to the popular lettuce. Back to my friend Horatio. He started his own business. His business is doing really well, and he's very entrepreneurship. He's very smart about it, and the work that he's doing, like he has before and after pictures. Let's see if I can get into this one. But this is the entryway that he's working on. Not finished yet, but the stuff that
Transom there on the top looks like it needs a little work.
yeah, this is. You should have seen the before and after. This is still working on, but the stuff that he's doing is actually pretty solid, and I recommend them.
I think Horatio is actually pretty cool because it takes studs to build houses. Yeah.
What does horses have?
Put
to
that
do
on
with
your
this?
plate. It could be either the top plate, the sill plate, the double top plate, but just put that on your plate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kill that one, boy. So what are we up to? What do we have left to talk about?
There we
today,
go.
you guys. Oh, back to the HVAC technician. So, yeah. Now the guy that is doing my HVAC stuff, he actually owns his business. So he did what you said, Kevin, and did the entrepreneurial route, and is probably making more than the $42,000 a year.
I sure hope so. I sure hope so because the
He's
opportunity.
a hard worker.
Yeah, well, you can be a hard worker and still not get there because there's a reason why 96% of business people who will start a venture this year will not be around in 10 years. There's a ton of hurdles to cross over.
It's amazing the statistic of how many businesses, and I did this, when I was younger. Just take a second to Google how many businesses open up in the state of Washington in a single year, and how many close in a single year, and you'll be shocked by those numbers.
The answers will shock you.
Actually, what are you doing?
Hold on here. Let's see if this comes up here. Oh, here we go. 3 steps to create a successful business. I want you to bring this up. This is a video piece that I put up, so just go into Google. Let's or YouTube rather. Let's play this for people, because if you're thinking about starting a business venture, so if you went to trade school and you got into one of these trades that we're talking about here, and you're going, hey, I'd really like to go out on my own at some point. Find this video titled 3 Steps to Create a Successful Business, Kevin Hunter. Now, remember when I said that that you can have a situation where 96% of the people 10 years from now will not be around. Do you know how you can make it a 70% chance that you'll be around in 10 years instead of a 4% chance? Well, it's on this video that Kyle's trying to find here. Bingo, there it is. All right, bring the window up full screen and then throw it on the back screen. I don't think this person will give us a copyright strike.
Never know.
Roll the video. Successful business people that are out there. Before I share these 3 things with you, I'd like to point something out to you. Every single year, 1 million+ people start a business venture of some sort. They can be brick and mortar businesses or at-home businesses, but they're people that come from all the different walks of life. The unfortunate thing is that only 4% of them will see a 10-year anniversary. That means 96% of people will fail in their business ventures, but it doesn't have to be you. I'll share with you the top 3 things that the successful business people do consistently in their business. Now, right behind me here on this spreadsheet, number 1 on the list are clear written goals and objectives. Written goals. They're very clear. They're very easy to define, and it doesn't take a whole lot of time to put them in written fashion. But did you know that of all the business owners that are out there, only 3% have written goals and objectives in their business? Is there a connection to the fact that only 4% of business people actually make it to 10-year anniversary? Without a doubt. Number 2 on the list, strategic game planning.
Oh.
Okay, unfortunately that we got so many windows open over here that the internet is a little bit glitchy for us here on that video link.
Yeah.
But I want to share with you really the
Really? I thought the video was full of so much information
It's
and
full of-
wealth of knowledge that it broke the internet.
Yeah, it broke the internet. Yes. Well, so there's 3 things, and go ahead and put the video in there, but also write them in written comment there. So on put number 1, have clear written goals and objectives, or just put clear written goals. Yes. So that's number 1.
I saw number 2.
Number 2.
Strategery.
Have a strategic plan on how to get there.
Just put strategery. That's a George Bush term. He
Yeah,
used that.
strategery.
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 Bam.
Okay, and number 3, get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, I wish I would have seen a little bit of that last night. Get out of the comfort zone, but no, everybody played
Yeah,
it
so these
safe.
are the 3 things that if you want a 70% chance of being around 10 years from now and you're starting a business today, have very clear goals and objectives. And I'm not talking about shooting for the moon. I'm talking about putting together a goal and objective for yourself as a organization, what you're trying to accomplish. And then a strategic plan would be something like this. Let's say that you're trying to attract new leads to your organization. And heck, let's just pick on the real estate business, because we do a real estate show here on this show, right? Okay, so if you're trying to grow your real estate business, what are some of the things that you might want to do? You're going to want to email a given number of people per day, right? Because you want to have email communications with people. You're going to want to call X number of people per day. You're going to want to spend X amount of time either researching your markets, etc., but doing some self-study. You take all of these things in its entirety, and even an established realtor will say, in order for me to have a X given month, I have to have a certain number of contacts per day and throughout the month in order for me to get there. The strategic plan matches up a daily and weekly how-to for the goal that you have at the end of the month. It's as simple as that. Now, are there plenty of people that you may say, I don't want to call or I don't want to talk to, or are there things in your strategic plan you go, I really should be doing that, but you kind of don't want to? Why do you think number 3 says get out of your comfort zone? Because you're going to have to do things that you're not particularly comfortable with. And the reason why most people fail, at least half of the people who fail, who don't make it to the 96%, at least half, were people that didn't succeed because of their own unjustified fears of success. Because they were, well, what if they say no? What if they this? What if they that? Oh no, today's a bad day. Or that people even get out, drive to an appointment, get out of their car, and then go, oh, no, Mr. Jones looks a little busy today. I'll come back another time. Or they go to the front desk, and the person, you know, that they were expected to have an appointment with is tied up for a short time, and they really didn't want to talk to him anyway. So then they're like, whew, leave the building, and maybe the conversation just never happens. But fear of success and fear of failure, people don't go out and pursue those goals and follow that strategic plan, and they end up dying. That's at least half of the failures are because of failure to get out of your comfort zone. And then that number 1 and number 2, the clear goals and objectives and the strategic plan, the failure of having those 2 things ironed out explains the other half. So when if you're going to draw a line through what's the most important thing out of these 3, what would you say it is then? What did I just share? What's the most important thing of those 3? What is the most important?
I think to do the other 2, you have to do number 3.
Bingo. Yeah.
That's just my thinking. No, you're gonna. I mean, if running a business was easy and comfortable, everybody would do it.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
It's just not. Running a business isn't easy, and it takes a lot of work.
It is very uncomfortable.
And it's time consuming. I mean, you're going to be crunching numbers and writing checks while your employees are on vacation.
And there will be some weeks that you will put your entire payroll
Right.
on your credit card.
Right. I mean, it just happens, and that's why I was so disappointed last night, is that nobody got out of their comfort zones.
Bingo.
And
as we now have just discussed, that's a recipe for failure, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Completely a recipe for failure.
It's sad to see that. But getting out of your comfort zone, that's hard for people to do, Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it really is. You have to force yourself to do it. And that's it. So I lose that battle on a daily basis. Some things,
All right, guys, so those are some ideas on some of the jobs that you might consider going after in trade school. And as you can see, all of them are showing substantial double-digit growth between now and 2024. Get out there, you guys, and get after those degrees, because there's some very nice incomes.
My son, Rachel, and our son went to Perry Tech, and which is a trade school, and he has already got a job. I mean, he's making good money. He's out on his own. He's got his own apartment, and that's he hasn't even been out of school a year. He hasn't been out of school 6 months.
Yeah.
So I mean, these trade schools, when you finish up, there's people just waiting to hire you. Most of the
Without
time,
any doubt, there is.
Most of the time in the trade schools, you have to go out and do work experience. And so you have companies that are looking for the opportunity to take these kids and put them in their employment and see what they can do. And I guarantee you these companies will hire those kids that they're doing a good job.
You know what I did as a general contractor? And multiple times. I say that I have at least 50 experiences doing exactly this. I went to one of the local area tech schools, trade schools, talked to the person who taught HVAC or plumbing or electrical, and said, is your classroom with students interested in coming out and installing the entire heating and cooling system in this house? The cost of the tech school of trying to do a home or finding these locations to do this kind of stuff, it gives an opportunity for those students to get out in the field and actually do a real live installation. And I use them over and over and over again, because here's the thing. Not only were they very good at it, but I could knock out a HVAC job in a single day because when a classroom full of 30 students shows up on the job site, yeah, they bang the whole thing out in one day. And when I mean bang, if you've ever been where they're forming sheet metal and stuff like, I mean, that's a it's a little bit of a joke, and there's a double meaning there because you're going to want to go into that job site with earplugs. There are literal people banging with hammers on steel sheet metal everywhere in the house. But the point is that here's two reasons why to do that. It gives these students some real life experience out on an actual job site. And they are being taught the latest and greatest ways of doing this. One of the downsides of using an electrical or a contractor as an example in this same type of business, one of the downsides is that they don't always go back to school. They learned what they learned, and sometimes 10 years, 20 years later, they're still kind of doing the things they did way back when. And a lot of new technologies coming into the trades all the time. That's not true of all contractors. Some of them are very, very up to date on things that are going on. But there are a lot that kind of like to stay with their tried and true, and that's what they do. Well, if you get a tech school involved in your project, and I really recommend this for homeowners that are out there, you'll actually save a few bucks on the trade that you're looking to have done, whether it's electrical, plumbing, or heating and cooling. But you're also giving an opportunity for these students to go out and learn firsthand. And you'll get the latest, greatest installations done.
You know, I've followed local politics in our area here for 6 years now and been involved in this. And there is my observation of getting to know people and watching them talk online, watching them talk at meetings and stuff like that, is that there's a lot of support from people on both sides of the aisle in our community for a trade school. Why we don't have one yet is kind of beyond me, because I believe that if the both, and I'm going to break it down as sides because our area has sides, whether we like it or not. We have Republican citizens and we have Democratic citizens, and both are in agreements that we would like that trade schools are important. I cannot figure out for the life of me how there isn't some kind of group put together so far, or some kind of coalition that is to looking into opening a trade school in our area, because I believe that is something that I would work for as well with these folks on. But this is something that both people on both sides of the aisle could come together and work on, but they just aren't. And I don't know why. We all agree that trade schools are something that we need more of. We need them in the future. We have a good college here in Longview. There's no reason why we couldn't have a trade school here as well. And so maybe somebody will put together a coalition or some type of community group to maybe move us forward in this, but I believe it would be a good idea for our area.
I would agree. I would agree. And for people, politicians in particular, who are saying they're all about jobs, 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 how often do you hear politicians use that? My top 3 priorities are jobs, jobs, and jobs. You hear politicians say that all the time. You know what, you guys? Use your influence to help accelerate getting the trade schools and the vocational schools back open. Make it happen.
We have so much property in Cowlitz County that's just sitting there. So many empty buildings that we could put together. You know, we could put together something. It would take a long time.
Make it happen.
But you know, I don't know how to get something like that kicked off. But there's enough support in our community that if everybody came together on it, I believe that we could get it done. So it's just my opinion.
All right, let's move on to the Norfolk Eggman.
The Eggman.
The Eggman, yes.
Cuckoo,
This guy's in big trouble.
This guy has gotten over 5,000 rare eggs. This guy, he'd go around in camouflage and just pick up eggs. 5,000 rare eggs. And he's not eating them. He's just collecting them. Now, 5,000 rare eggs. And some of them are actually from almost extinct species as well. So this is like highly illegal. But
speaking of stink, I think a few of those eggs do stink by now.
Is there like text with the story? I mean,
well, yeah, it's not just like a picture and title.
Well, no, the picture is cool, but I mean, does it list some of the things that some of the eggs that he got, and like, what was the most endangered one on his list that he had, and Does it show anything like that at all?
No, but it says since outside court Lingham had repeatedly plundered some sites to such an extent that no baby birds survived in those locations. So basically, he got so much that there's no.
Between him and the other predators, all the eggs are gone.
Here's the win out of this. Go ahead and pause it right there. Is that it's not a complete loss, you guys. They are going to do something useful with the eggs. They're going to send them to the Natural History Museum, and it's good that they could be used for something. But you know, like you said, no birds survived, so that's not that's not good.
You know,
They ran across foul play.
some people are addicted to like.
Come on. Some of these are just. Oh boy. It started with this young boy. You know, I used to go out and find robin eggs and stuff like that. You know, it would always be kind of cool to find those. I was taught at a young age that if you handled the nest or the eggs, that the mother wouldn't take care of the baby. So I never disturbed them. But it was always neat when you find a nest in the tree. And my favorite nests to find are hummingbird nests because they're so small.
Okay, you guys, while this picture is still on the screen, take a really good look at the person directly above Chris. So point straight up there, Chris. This person right above Chris. This face right here.
Oh, yeah.
There's a face that looks a lot like this, like a doppelganger.
Stephen King.
That walks around our community.
Does he hang his head like this?
Yes. He is one of the registered sex offenders in this community.
That guy
Did
is
you know
a
that?
sex offender?
Yeah, that's one of the registered sex offenders.
What level though?
I don't remember.
Is he?
But his
everywhere.
chances for more encounters are not looking up
Yeah.
because he's
Kevin.
Oh man.
spending all his time looking down. So the only thing he's noticing is his shoes, I think. But
No,
but
I
anyway,
see
he is.
him everywhere, and he goes through the garbage, and it's amazing where I see him. I mean, I'll see him on one side of town, and then I'll go to Walmart, and he'll be in Walmart.
He needs to spend less time digging in the garbages because when you're like, if you're spending all this time like looking in the trash can, you could actually get stuck in that position. I mean, there's at least one person it's happened to, which is him. So don't get in the habit of looking in the bottom of garbage cans.
Okay. Well, one part about the story that's actually kind of sad. His issue started as a young boy. The only way his father would give him praise was if he collected rare eggs.
Why?
That's actually really sad. So don't be the Eggman, I guess.
Don't be the Eggman.
So you know how we're
And don't be a sex offender either.
So you know how we're talking about, jobs coming back to the USA?
Mm-hmm.
You know what else has been manufactured in the USA that, is kind of related to us? Keto energy drinks.
Keto energy drinks, yes.
Yeah.
So Kyle has these keto energy drinks on the desktop here today. I also have a keto energy drink sitting right here. It's called water and apple cider vinegar.
I have an energy drink too. It's called coffee.
Yeah, that's true. So what's these energy drinks that you got over there, Kyle?
Well, they're things that you drink and they make you wide awake. No, so basically this one right here is a Meltdown. It's actually it's made for keto because it has the word keto on it. It says it has 7,500 milligrams of ketones in it, which is kind of, the purpose of keto diet. But I went to GNC the other day with my friend Luke. My friend Luke lost officially 100 pounds. Congratulations. He's been doing keto since January.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and
Way to go, Luke. You're the man.
Yeah, it's actually pretty great because he's one of my only friends that do keto. Oh, hey, look at that.
Luke, we're so proud of you. We're going to send you a Northwest Digital News bumper sticker.
Oh, I bet he's excited.
Yeah, I just off the chart.
Oh, boy, that's what I wanted. But he's one of my only friends that do keto, so we talk about keto.
Wait a minute, though. For anybody else in our listening audience, if you lose 100 pounds, we'll send you one of our bumper stickers as well.
That's true.
Yeah.
But we went to GNC because we both go to GNC. Well, he goes to GNC and I tag along. And he gets fish oil and a bunch of other things. Well, we brought up keto to one of the new workers there, and she's like, yeah, we're just getting a bunch of new shipments, and next week we're actually getting a whole new section of just keto foods and energy drinks and protein powder and stuff like that. So I'm glad that keto is becoming more popular in America. And these energy drinks, you know, a lot of energy drinks are very popular with teenagers and younger kids. And I'm not really a big fan of energy drinks, but I drink them, I don't know, once in a while. I haven't had one in the past, like, month or
Aside
so.
from the jitters and other health-related complications, they're not a bad idea to do.
Yeah, they're not that bad if you drink like 3 in 30 minutes. But
Just
yeah.
look up how many people are hospitalized who just drank an energy drink. Yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like keto is becoming more popular, and I believe the meltdown keto, if you drink energy drinks, you probably are familiar with Bangs. Bangs are pretty popular. Well, I believe Bang is actually the creator of Meltdown as well. And so pop into your GNC, and there's a lot more keto stuff, keto snacks, keto foods, keto just mental stuff. It's pretty cool.
So here's a little problem that I have with this drink that this is one that Kyle opened and consumed.
I'm testing them out because I'm
yeah,
trying
he's
to.
testing them out.
Yeah.
Somebody's got it.
Yeah.
The one he has in this hand right here is lit. That's what it's called. It's called lit. Get lit.
Yeah.
It's the flavor is gummy worms.
Yeah. Did you get this from the cannabis store?
No, I'm not 21. No, they're both from GNC, and they're all
I'm not 21 either.
cool.
Are you 21, Chris?
No.
No. Oh,
I am under.
I guess we're all out on that thing. We got to be 21 in order to go in.
Yeah, it's such a
That
small,
is such a small niche market.
small
Yes.
niche. Very popular 21-year-olds. But gummy worm flavor, I was actually kind of.
Gummy worm.
the very-
That just sounds
On the
Like
back
a
of the can,
case of
by the way,
diarrhea
on the
in a
back of
can.
the can, I want to point out that when Kevin handed it that way, the only words that I saw on that can were "keep away from children."
Yeah. Yeah.
So you know it's
that's
good.
that's pretty true.
It's on there. No, seriously, it's on the back. It says it.
Okay,
Keep
you
away
guys. So
from
let me
children.
share with you something else. You see all these? You probably can't see it here on the camera, but
Wow.
do you see all these zeros here? You see all these zeros, you guys? 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0. I'd say zero nutrition, but they didn't put that on there. 0 good for you. Anyway, this
But
is a
what it is good at is they should put on there making money.
yeah. It's
And manufactured in USA, so
Yeah.
more jobs.
yeah. So
Jobs.
anyhow, this is
Jobs.
a drink called Meltdown, and it says it's keto appropriate. 7,500 milligrams of ketones in here. There's 2 letters in the alphabet you need to put right behind those that claim right there.
B
It's B and
S.
S. Yes,
There
yes.
is nothing healthy about these things, you guys. In fact,
Right.
they are bad for you.
B and S are the 2. Okay,
Sorry,
so
Kyle.
No, it's okay. I brought them on the show so we can pick them apart.
okay, so here's the thing, you guys. What are some of the common names of some of the artificial sweeteners?
Sugar.
How about
Tastes like junk.
aspartame, sucralose, which this one has, neotame. You recognize that one? Neotame, saccharin.
Yeah, saccharin, that's the one that my grandparents used to go to Canada for.
What?
It's a sulfame, potassium. Well, there's all these different things, artificial sweeteners that you can use to trick the system into tasting sweet, but actually not containing calories. So is this good? Like when you talk about insulin levels and things like that in the body, does this have a 0 insulin impact on your body? If that's the case, if this is a keto drink and it has no sugar, does it have a 0 insulin impact on the body?
It's also the same thing. Not same letters, but it's another 2 letters, N and O.
No. Yes. So here's how artificial sweeteners have an impact on your insulin levels and your blood sugar levels. Well, first of all, your body recognizes this as a sweet taste. Okay? Doesn't have to have any calories. You recognize it as a sweet taste. There are responses happening in your gut based on the taste and the flavors of foods that you're experiencing in your mouth. Some people say that's untrue. Other people show that it is. There's evidence that suggests that it is. But one thing that cannot be disputed is the impact that this has on your digestive system and the gut health. And here's what happens. You drink enough of these artificial sweeteners and you become insulin resistant. Are you familiar with that? Insulin resistance?
He's looking at you.
Insulin. Yeah, your cells become resistant to insulin, and this has two effects. You both have increased blood sugar as a result of it. So, tip, you will not be in ketosis. And secondly, you also have insulin levels that increase. Tip, you will not be in ketosis. So this artificial sweetener creates insulin resistance. Go ahead, somebody, show me that it doesn't. Creates insulin resistance, damages your gut health,
We'll set up a
and
table
is one of the, we'll set up a table.
and a chair.
Yeah,
and
change my
some
mind.
coffee. Come
Change
change
my
his mind.
Yeah, come change our mind.
We'll be at LCC.
We'll be at LCC, yeah. but not underneath that area, because that's not a free speech zone.
See, the people that don't really understand, when people think of keto, it's like, oh, no carbs, right? Well, what you really want to focus on is no insulin response. You want to have
bingo. You want to be focusing on what impact does it have on insulin in your body.
And this
Also-
is why I can still eat pho noodles, right?
Let's see if I can find.
Once a week.
Where's our budget?
That's not going to stop.
You can just pick a cheat day and do it once a week.
Okay, guys, here's a
It's
quote
now
that I.
Pho Sunday.
So it says, enhanced energy, increase in metabolism, enhanced fat loss. But also on the same can, it says, these statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hey, you know what? Those I will tell you though, as somebody who has studied the science behind that, those statements actually are true for anywhere from 15 to maybe 45 days.
Wow.
Yeah. You can create a little spike in your metabolism temporarily and whatever. The long-term ramifications is you'll be in the hole.
So the big question is, though, Kyle, are you still going to buy these drinks after today?
No, I just bought these just to
Okay.
try them because they're brand new and they're keto. So they're at the GNC, so I was like, why not, at least
How
try
much
them?
were those each?
GNC is the General Nutrition Company.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that
there's
is
no
really
nutrition in
general.
it. No. Anyway, so
They're $3.99 each.
Oh my gosh!
One of these is $2.99. I don't know which one. I think
Probably
this one.
the smaller one.
No, this
No?
one's $3.99. This one's more $2.99. But yeah, they're expensive. They taste okay. Compared to other energy drinks, they taste like energy drinks, but I don't know, they're more tart than just any other ones. The gummy worm one just tastes like diabetes. The citrus twist, actually, I can enjoy. I like citrus, but
It's not open yet.
Here's my challenge to those organizations developing these drinks that they're calling keto. You know what, Chris, you got coffee in front of you. Do you have like a sweetener or cream or anything in this, or is it just straight coffee?
This one, usually I go straight coffee in the morning, but this, usually I put heavy cream in it, sometimes butter. But this one here, this morning I needed a little extra boost. So there's 2 creams and 1 sugar pack in there, and that's it on this one.
I never put any sweetener in my, not sugar or things like that. But I will frequently use like a heavy cream and or butter in my coffee. Except when? What time of day? Kyle, you should know.
like after noon most times, but it's like 1 or 2. Right?
Yeah, but I don't put any cream in my drink until then. And why not?
Oh, because you're doing the fast thing.
I'm doing the intermittent fast. I'll wait till then.
I'm pretty sure this broke my fast today. So I mean,
No question that
Yeah.
it did.
yeah. So watch out for
Yeah.
that. But one thing that GNC is doing right that I saw, they actually have ketone test strips.
They're doing one thing right.
Well, one thing that I saw.
Oh, one
They're
thing
actually
that you
doing
saw.
2 things. They actually have hemp seeds
The
there.
door was open. That was the second thing.
There's sales. They actually have hemp seeds there in the kind of like the keto section, but they also have ketone test strips. So if you want to, see if you're in ketosis, pee on one of those.
Yeah, we got ours off of Amazon.
Hey, so here's the interesting thing. People have recognized some of the similarities between mice and rats and human beings, and they do a ton of testing is done with foods on these little rodents. Well, Israeli scientists made headlines when they linked artificial sweeteners to changes in gut bacteria. Mice, when fed artificial sweeteners for 11 straight weeks, had negative changes in their gut bacteria, and it caused increased blood sugar levels. When they implanted the bacteria from these mice into germ-free mice, so they took the problem that these mice had and implanted it into other mice who weren't even on the same diet, they immediately had increased blood sugar levels as well. And interestingly, the scientists were able to reverse the increase in blood sugar levels by changing the gut bacteria back to normal.
So, Kevin, the takeaways are Diet soda is still not keto.
Correct.
So any sugar like diet sodas, you think, oh yeah, I can have like a diet soda. I'll be keto. No, you're not keto.
And diet beverages do ruin your gut bacteria. They do make you insulin resistant, and they do increase your blood sugar levels. That's the long-term ramification.
One thing that I am getting into though is tea. I'm digging tea. Like I'm trying to get into loose leaf tea. I still haven't gotten loose leaf tea because I don't have like stuff to brew it with. But I am getting into tea. I'm digging tea, and there's so much types of teas as well. So tea's keto.
So you remember, going back to something that this can has, remember when it says, what were the claims that it made that it did? The
Enhanced fat loss, increased metabolism, and enhanced energy, which I'm guessing enhanced energy because caffeine.
So let me give you an illustration here of why that's true, how that's true. So, Kyle, let's say I take $10 out of my wallet here.
I can hold on to that.
Or Chris. Say, okay, but before you accept this, if I put this in your hand, this $10 bill here, there will be more money in your hand than there is right now, right? If I put that in your hand. But before I put this in your hand, I want to tell you that this is what the condition is.
Yeah.
On this same day, next week, so a week from today, Wednesday,
You're popular, Chris.
there has to be a $100 bill that comes back from you to me.
Oh, yeah. No, see.
Do you still want the $10?
No.
Do you want the $10? You owe me $100 next Wednesday.
I mean, if you give me another 90 with that, but not increase the 100.
That's the deal. You get $10. That's your benefit for today.
Oh boy.
But you owe me $100 back for giving you this.
No.
You want to do it?
I'm
You don't want to do it, Chris?
No,
you don't.
no.
You don't want the money anymore.
Yeah, don't want the money.
Does anyone else in the audience want money?
Here's the problem, you guys. That
give you
little
the $10.
boost, that little
Good luck
boost
finding
to
me
your
next Tuesday.
metabolism, it's like getting the $10, the temporary boost, but it will cause you a huge detriment down the road. Why would you do it?
I want.
People are doing that kind of stuff all the time. They're trading the $10 and having to pay back $100 in metabolism, failed metabolism. That's what I'm saying. Is that the net harm to your system is significant enough that you shouldn't be doing this for any reason.
Can we throw another story up? Do we have time to do one more?
Oh man, we got to make it really quick because
Okay,
it's
this
gonna
will be a
running
real
here
quick thing,
fast.
and I'll do this in a way where I can just say, I agree with this, some of this.
Look.
I think this, this
From
is on
the Olympian.
Yeah, this is about, and I don't know how many parents understand that this law passed, that we have this new law. Just so you guys know, no lunch shaming is a thing, and that is now done.
Mm-hmm.
It's over with. If you go to school and your child doesn't have a lunch, they have to provide a lunch for the student. The parent will still have to pay it back, but they can't say anything to this. And I think this is a step in the right direction. I believe that the school lunches should actually be included, and that the students shouldn't have to pay for that. I think they should get free lunch.
Yeah.
I think every student, and you call it an investment into the future. You want your kids to be smart. And I also challenge people to go and have lunch with your child at school and look at the amount of food that is thrown away.
Look at how much of it is carbs, too.
And I let me tell.
much of it
I
is
graduated
carbs?
in 2017, so
Yeah.
I can tell you everything about this. And I can tell you. Remember when Michelle Obama changed the school lunch system
Yes.
completely?
Yes.
That was horrendous. Let me tell you. So basically, a lot of high schools and a lot of people like, okay, yeah, we can get better food, but at the same time, a lot of other high schools, who are the majority, didn't. Instead, they got the cheaper food and they gave you less. So like there was really good food before then, and then we got the diet stuff and the ketchup. It didn't even taste like ketchup. It's like sugar got dumped into the ketchup, and it was like, it's like diet ketchup. It was weird.
She was actually able to get pizza reclassified as a vegetable. Google it. And she did this. She said to do this program. But if you do a little research, you will find out that one of her friends or family members is somebody that was in the lunch business and making pizza. So that's why that happened, because no sane person understands that vegetable is not pizza. Pizza is not a vegetable.
They also
Although vegetables can be on a pizza, but that doesn't make it a vegetable.
Right. But I think this is, I really honestly believe that part of our tax dollars should go to paying for the lunches for these kids. And I think that they could change it around if they would allow the schools to do it themselves, you know, they could tailor fit to the students what is normal to them to eat, and they could actually save money that way.
Okay,
But
you guys.
I think that all lunches should be paid for. And I
Okay,
think
you guys, we are out of time.
Sorry.
And we do have to run. However, I'm going to leave you on this, and you're going to go,
Fine.
oh, man.
We're
But here's
like
the
in
thing.
negative time.
When somebody classifies a pizza a vegetable simply because there could be a green pepper on it or something like that,
But there's a tomato.
a tomato paste. So if they can, with that little bit of involvement, claim that pizza is a vegetable, then I can understand how you take a primary male hostile caravan, put a couple of women and children in it, and you make it sound like migrants applying for asylum. And it's just so peaceful. But hey, never mind all the 95% of the rock throwers that are in the back. Anyhow, we're going to leave it right there here on Northwest Digital News. Kevin Hunter and Chris Ford said, and Kyle Target said here on Northwest Digital News. Special thanks to everybody who joined us on Twitch TV, on Patreon, on YouTube, and of course our Facebook pages, and anywhere you find us all around the web. 29 countries and counting. Again, till next time, take care.